While the world was distracted, a quiet revolution has reshaped global business. One with a $450 billion price tag. China now controls not just manufacturing, but the entire journey of products, from raw materials to delivery at your door. This shift impacts your grocery bill, your next car, and even national security. The global supply chain is the economy's lifeblood, and China's grip gives it unprecedented power. This isn't just about made in China. It's about China setting the rules for technology, trade, and geopolitics. For decades, the West wrote the rules of global trade. Now China is the architect of a new system. It's moved from factory floor to manager of the world's production line. Understanding this change is crucial for anyone navigating today's economy. The implications are vast new opportunities for some, deep dependencies for others, and a direct challenge to US dominance. This is not a simple win or loss. It's a fundamental, irreversible shift in global power. For 30 years, China was the world's factory, churning out goods for Western brands. But this was just the beginning, a stepping stone to something bigger. Chinese leaders knew that being the world's workshop left them vulnerable. Their real goal: climb the value chain and control the entire process, from design to delivery. They invested in education, technology, and infrastructure, learning from the very companies they supplied. Soon, China dominated not just assembly, but also components and raw materials. Supply chains became so rooted in China that moving them seemed impossible. This deep integration gave China subtle, powerful influence over global commerce. The ultimate aim: export not just products, but entire industrial ecosystems, making China the world's supply chain hub. This was a patient, state-driven plan, decades in the making. The past 2 years have supercharged China's transformation from manufacturer to supply chain superpower. Rising geopolitical tensions and US trade restrictions forced China to adapt fast. Instead of retreating, China doubled down, exporting not just goods, but entire supply chain systems. Chinese manufacturing clusters now build and manage production and logistics in other countries, making China the central brain of global manufacturing. Technological leaps, especially in AI, have made China's supply chains the world's most efficient. As of 2025, 80 advanced manufacturing clusters and AI-driven logistics give China a huge edge. At events like the China International Supply Chain Expo, global firms come to integrate with China's network, not just to buy. The message is clear: global supply chain stability now runs through Beijing. China's $450 billion dominance is no longer just an economic story. It's a new world order. The world has been put on notice. There's a new manager in charge. China's supply chain empire is no accident. It's a result of state-led investment, tech dominance, and global integration. At its core, 80 advanced manufacturing clusters, each a self-sustaining ecosystem for industries like EVs and semiconductors. These clusters unite research, suppliers, and logistics, slashing costs and speeding innovation. Billions invested in AI make China's logistics the smartest and most reliable in the world. AI manages everything from inventory to global shipping, rerouting around disruptions in real time. Foreign companies aren't just clients. They're now embedded in China's ecosystem, showcasing their best tech for China-led supply chains. China exports its industrial model abroad, building parks and logistics hubs in Asia, Africa, and Latin America. These satellite clusters sidestep tariffs and keep high-value control linked to China. The result? A truly global network, with China at the center. This strategy cements China's role as the world's supply chain architect. It's a brilliant move that expands influence and control far beyond its borders. China's $450 billion supply chain grip is sending shockwaves worldwide, especially in the US. For American consumers, China's efficiency may keep prices low, but it creates dangerous dependencies. A single policy change in Beijing could trigger shortages and price spikes for critical goods. The US is losing not just manufacturing jobs, but high-value roles in logistics, tech, and management. This threatens America's economic edge and could slow growth and raise unemployment. Emerging economies see opportunity in China's offer to build new industrial hubs, but risk deeper dependence. Europe is caught between US alliances and economic ties to China, creating fractures in the West. China's control over supply chains gives it direct geopolitical leverage, rewarding friends, pressuring rivals, and setting global standards. This is a direct challenge to the US-led order of the past 70 years. The new battleground isn't military, it's the world's supply chains. China can now influence policy, trade rules, and even the fate of entire industries. The world must adapt to a reality where economic power is the ultimate weapon. The rules of global influence have changed. Corporations are scrambling to adapt to this new reality, balancing risk, resilience, and opportunity. Geopolitical instability and trade policy are now top risks for global growth. Companies are diversifying suppliers and investing in scenario planning, but few feel truly prepared. Despite talk of decoupling, many multinationals are doubling down on China, localizing operations and embedding in its supply chain ecosystems. Technology is the top priority. Firms are betting on AI to navigate volatility, playing right into China's strengths. Some pursue a China plus one strategy, keeping a presence in China while building alternatives in places like Vietnam or Mexico. But replicating China's scale and expertise is costly and slow. The goal: reduce over-reliance, but true resilience will take years. The new economic map is complex, expensive, and fraught with tough choices. For now, China remains the indispensable hub. China's supply chain mastery is a geopolitical power play, not just an economic feat. Control over global trade arteries gives Beijing leverage without firing a shot. Countries that cross China risk sudden shortages of critical goods, an effective tool for policy influence. The US and allies are scrambling to reshore manufacturing, but decades of offshoring make this a massive challenge. Many Western companies see more opportunity in partnering with China than leaving. Europe, deeply tied to China, is reluctant to confront Beijing, fracturing Western unity. China uses its dominance to promote a new model of global governance, one that appeals to developing nations. By offering investment and access, China is building a coalition that looks to Beijing for leadership. This is about more than who makes the world's goods. It's about who writes the rules for the future. The world's balance of power is being redrawn, one supply chain at a time. Analysts agree, China's supply chain dominance is a structural, long-term shift. The old view of China as a low-cost factory is over. It's now a high-tech global hub. Massive state investment in AI and advanced clusters is a deliberate, successful strategy. Western experts warn of the risks. Overconcentration creates dangerous vulnerabilities. True resilience requires real diversification, but that's slow and expensive. China's stickiness is its strength. Decades of relationships, infrastructure, and expertise can't be moved overnight. Vietnam or Mexico can handle assembly, but lack China's deep supplier networks and skilled workforce. Political analysts see China's move as economic strength leveraged for global influence. The US and allies have been slow to respond, focusing on trade deficits instead of strategic dependency. The consensus, only proactive investment and alliances can offer a real alternative to China's model. China's $450 billion supply chain coup is a wake-up call for everyone. We must recognize China's new role as the world's chief logistics officer and industrial architect. For governments, protectionism isn't enough. Investment in education, R&D, and infrastructure is vital. Building resilient, diversified supply chains with allies is now a strategic necessity. For companies, balancing efficiency with resilience means investing in alternatives, even at higher short-term costs. The China plus one approach is a start, but true security requires robust ecosystems in multiple regions. For individuals, global literacy matters. Know where your products come from and support transparency and diversification. The world's economic center has shifted, creating new risks and opportunities. Staying informed and engaged is no longer optional. The choices we make today will shape prosperity and stability for decades to come.